has been outspoken about his views. He has even gone on to the extent of calling the BJP AIADMK alliance a rejected and quote coercive equation. But in politics, as they say, lines change quickly and there are no permanent friends or allies. Could something change? Now here's why Vijay is being seen as a key factor in the battle for Tamil Nadu this time around. In case he decides to go solo, as is the case as of now, the anti-DMK votes may get fragmented, not only hurting the NDA but also benefiting the ruling dispensation. It will also challenge the DMK, AIADMK Dravidian duopoly that's been shaping political dynamics in the state so far. It could also lay groundwork for future electoral success depending on his ability to build a strong organizational network. Furthermore, TVK's mix of Tamil nationalism, secularism, anti-corruption rhetoric could attract voters who may be disillusioned with both the ruling DMK and also are not wanting to go with an NDA front. With no political baggage, Vijay may emerge as a kingmaker in case of a hung assembly. But is this overplaying his influence is a question we will ask. Recent developments have left one wondering though if all is okay within the NDA fold. Reports suggest AIADMK negotiated talks with TVK for months before finally warming up to the BJP and sealing that deal. And even within that deal, it seems like they are on different pages. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who first said that the Chief Minister will be from Tamil Nadu, later said that the Chief Minister will be from AIADMK. This is a line that the AIADMK has also been reiterating. Then it was the recent comment by EPS saying that the coalition will win, but only AIADMK will form the government. Just a reminder, here's how the numbers played out. Last time the elections were held in Tamil Nadu, 133, DMK was the biggest party, winning that major chunk of the seats, along with partner Congress bagging 18. AIADMK was relegated to just 66 with PMK, VCK, BJP winning 5 and 4 respectively. Can fortunes really swing too much this time around? That and more coming up. With this coalition game plan to TVK hint, can the BJP and the AIADMK really woo Vijay towards their side? That's coming up.
ஏன்னா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தை அகற்ற வேண்டும் என்று எண்ணம் உடைய ஒத்த கருத்துடைய கட்சிகளெல்லாம் ஒன்றாக இணைந்தால் தேர்தல் எளிதாக வெற்றி.
Totally impossible to align with the communal forces like BJP. They divide the people on the religious ground and it's a big threat to social fabric of Tamil Nadu as well as India.
அப்படி இருக்கும் பொழுது என்னுடைய தலைவர் அமித் ஷா அவர்கள் சொல்வதைத்தான் நான் கேட்டாக வேண்டும்.
We have to defeat the DMK alliance, so we have to all same like-minded parties has to get aligned. The like-minded means not ideologically. Like-minded means defeating the DMK.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. YG Madhuvanti is BJP leader in Tamil Nadu with us. Kowai Satyan, a national spokesperson of the AIADMK. Harish Mohammad Ibrahim is political analyst who backs the DMK and the India Alliance. And Suman Sriraman, author and political analyst, especially follows Tamil Nadu politics very closely. All with us. I do thank you all for your time. Let me begin with YG Madhuvanti ji. One of your spokespersons just spoke to us and says, you know, like-minded doesn't mean ideology in Tamil Nadu. Like-minded only means anti-DMK. For a party that claims to be ideologically based, this is quite a positioning by the BJP in Tamil Nadu.
No, I don't think so at all. There was once an alliance with the DMK as well for the BJP. Because at that point in time, there was a different threat that had to be ousted. So I think all our leaders are very clear that we need to oust the DMK out of power in 2026. And that is the only sole focus.
Okay.
And our Home Minister has very categorically mentioned the day the alliance was formed with the ADMK that the government under the leadership of Thiru Edappadi K. Palaniswamy is what will form government in Tamil Nadu. And we are all very clear on that. I don't understand why this whole narrative is suddenly coming out as though there are problems between BJP and ADMK and that BJP is trying to gain a footing. I don't understand. This is just
No, these are two
tactics to
separate
take
things.
diversion.
What I asked you is a separate thing, but I'll come to the issues that people are sensing within the NDA alliance. But, I just want to press on this a little bit more, Madhuvanti ji, because, BJP makes such a big deal that in the rest of the country, this India bloc has no other policy or ideology than the fact that they want to remove Modi. You're saying you follow the same model in Tamil Nadu? That for you, ideology doesn't matter in Tamil Nadu?
No, ideology matters to a great extent. But the first evil here is to oust the absolutely corrupt and dirty game playing DMK out of Tamil Nadu for any ideology to kick in. We need space, right, to do something. But what do we need to do for that? We need to first get them out of power.
Okay.
Only then can we talk ideology. Wow, how can you talk ideology without throwing them out of power?
Okay.
They are talking Dravidian model, they are following. There is absolutely no law and order in Tamil Nadu. Even as we speak today, we are hearing of cases of rape, drugs, liquor, problems of a police officer being confiscated of his own vehicle. I mean, this is the state of affairs in Tamil Nadu. So first we need to get them out of power, and then we can discuss other matters. Don't you think that is the first priority? At least that's what we think.
Okay. No, fair enough. If the party says so openly, I have literally no problems with it. But I want to go across to the AIADMK spokesperson as well, because EPS spoke to CNN News 18 and he says, we won't need a coalition government. The party will come to power on its own. When you have an alliance in the state and you repeatedly make statements that no, it is not going to be a coalition government. First, of course, it was about the chief minister's position. But fair enough, you would obviously claim the chief minister's position. But now you seem to want to distance yourself from the BJP. Is it because you're finding that the BJP is a baggage in Tamil Nadu?
Good evening. Perhaps this debate has the most number of hypotheses and assumptions I've ever sat on a debate. Having said that, see, it's very clear. 3 months ago, AIADMK was branded as an untouchables party. That's why nobody is coming and forming an alliance with us. This was the narrative by DMK. The moment the alliance between AIADMK and BJP was announced, the defeat of DMK becomes imminent. Having known that, it has sent shivers across the DMK and DMK allies camp. Now it is the desperation of DMK and their unit to ensure that they paint a picture that there is dissent and this is not a natural ally. And ideologically, they are the same. BJP is eating AIADMK. These kinds of narratives started spinning once we announced the alliance.
No, you say narrative. One second. You say assumptions, hypotheses and narrative. But I'm quoting literally what EPS said. And he has said this multiple times now, that there is no coalition government that will come to power. Usually an alliance leader, when they show confidence in them coming to power, talks about the alliance coming to power. No, EPS is not doing that.
Any party for that matter who are an ally will answer the same way. Let me give you an example. You go to Congress and ask them in Tamil Nadu, will they form the government? What would Congress say? They will say, yeah, our ally will form the government. That's what BJP also said. Now they want to read in between the lines and say.
No, what did EPS say, sir? Not BJP. EPS. EPS said alliance government is not needed. Our party will come to power.
No, allow me to complete.
Yes.
Please. Congress will say our alliance party will be in power. Same way BJP says our alliance party will be in power. That doesn't mean that the numbers are going to be added up to form a government, because that scenario arises post-election. Our leader exudes confidence saying that AIADMK will form the government of its own. It doesn't mean we are going to ditch away the party who are in ally with us. And why does this kind of hypothetical scenarios comes into the picture? Because the DMK believes that by stating this narrative again and again as coalition, they want to send across a message that AIADMK is weakened and they are not going to form a party of their own.
Okay.
This is their vested interest. The reality is, history will say that AIADMK had formed the government and on its own. 2011, the ally DK got the status of leader of opposition because they were an ally with us. That could happen with BJP in 2026.
No,
so
I must press
we
this.
Discussed the post-election scenarios. We cannot speculate beyond a point.
No, this isn't a post-election scenario. You've got a pre-election alliance. What are you talking about, Kovai Satyan? Post-election scenario is when you don't have an alliance on paper.
Where is the dissent or difference of opinion in the alliance? Why do somebody
I
have
am
to read
only
in between
wanting
the
you to
letters?
clarify. One
Forget
second.
about reading between the words. Reading in
I
between
am not
the letters.
reading between the words at all. This is literally what he has said, that there is no coalition government that will be formed.
Yeah,
So what
we
does that
stand by
mean?
it, and the history says it, and history vouches for it. That's what we are saying. We will get the numbers of our own, and we'll form the government on majority. It doesn't mean that the door is shown for BJP. And where
Okay.
is this question of is the door shown to BJP?
I'm
Are
not saying you're
the
showing the
AIADMK
door, but it
wooing
seems like
TVK?
And
you are
we in
Are
insisting
BJP
we
that
don't
you are
seem
an
poaching
to
for
have a
other
problem.
independent
parties?
force outside of the BJP. And yes, BJP is there with you. You're
No,
part
we
of a
don't-
national alliance. Yes, Madhuvantiji, I'm coming to you
Ma'am,
only.
we
I want to
as
understand what the BJP has to say
we
about
as
this.
BJP don't have a problem. It's very clear. Our home minister has stated the same. I don't understand why you are all trying to create a narrative and create problems when we are very fine and happy and we are happily going ahead with our campaigns together.
Okay. But you
Really,
won't
this
form a government together. You're campaigning together. You're
that
together
is
in an alliance, but you won't form a government.
Please tell me if DMK and Congress formed the government together here in Tamil Nadu. They also went on an alliance. Please show me one Congress minister. Has DMK first and foremost ever formed a government without an alliance in Tamil Nadu? There it goes. At least the ADMK has formed a government without an alliance in Tamil Nadu. There is history to show that. BJP is yet to make its mark in Tamil Nadu, and we are going slow and steady, and we know what to do.
Okay.
I don't understand what everybody else's problem is. So Kovai Satyan and I are very happy.
Okay, fine. Okay, the alliance partners are very happy. Let's go across to Harish Mohammed Ibrahim, who's also joining us. Are you worried at all with these statements being made with a certain amount of composure and confidence that Vijay, who's been seen as an X factor in Tamil Nadu elections this time around, could well go with his anti-DMK sentiment, even if he has certain issues with, let's say, BJP nationally or the NDA image overall?
Oh, he doesn't hold any significance until unless he is majority or anything is proven beyond doubt by facing any kind of election for that matter. For now, he is a born child and he has to test and proven in front of the people of Tamil Nadu. For that matter is concerned, the AIADMK should be needing him, will need him for their appeasement of majority of voters who are getting into the electoral fray. Almost 19 million of voters are getting into the fray, which they want to gather upon. But for DMK is concerned, we don't feel that significance for that matter. But as Madam Madhuvandi and Mr. Kovai Satyan said, they should be happy but the coalition partners are not happy in the sense Mr. Edappadi Palanichami doesn't have any significance or any say for that matter, whether he is vehemently opposing the two-party formation if the ADMK come to power, which will be daydreaming. For that matter is concerned, they faced 2019 election, 2021 election, 2024 election, and Mr. Edappadi Palanichami himself has faced almost 10 elections, including state election, Lok Sabha election, and the local body election. He never won the DMK for that matter is concerned. So if entire ADMK, BJP and TVK joining an alliance, if they are going to bring any significance? No, not at all. Because there is no anti-incumbency in Tamil Nadu and the people of Tamil Nadu is making sure to vote for the DMK and their alliance for that matter. And for coming to number two, whether the DMK has been significantly saying there is a two-party alliance going to form the government, no. They always stand in their ideology. Core ideology is Madhiyal Suyachi, Manilatil Kutachi, Madhiyal Suyachi. Right? They don't want to have any coalition in the state body, and only in the central they will have any kind of alliance formation is concerned.
But they're saying this is your model. This is your model too.
It is the core ideology. It is the core ideology of DMK. There will be always an alliance in the central government. Only there will be a single party of DMK forming a government in the state. The same ADMK has been formed out of the same ideology by Mr. MGR during 1972. And he came to power in 1977 after being there for 24 years in politics. He came to politics in 1952 and he is there by 1977. He almost took 24 years to become a CM. And you are speaking about Mr. Edappadi Palanichami is speaking about bringing down TVK as a significant alliance to their alliance and winning the vote of Tamil people. No, Tamil people will make sure to put forward the ideology as number one. And Madam Jayalalitha, for that matter is concerned, she was coming into politics by 1982 and she formed the government after 9 years into politics. And what kind of moral grounds ADMK is having now having a formation with the BJP, which is decimating each and every regional parties one after one, state after state, and they are having a coalition which is of pure, it is not according to convenience or not according to the, it is a pure compulsion politics of alliance, which will be tested again in Tamil Nadu land. The Tamil people will make sure to put forward the ideology as number one.
Okay.
And each and every time the BJP and ADMK will make sure the BJP decimate ADMK in upcoming election, and they will not even have a second party of ADMK residences.
Okay.
Which the Mr. Kovai Satyan will even eventually he will face the same thing which Maharashtra has been undergone, which Uttarakhand, Jharkhand, and one after another, even Bihar, even West Bengal, even Karnataka.
Okay.
What happened to their second parties will same happen to ADMK, and Mr. Kovai Satyan will eventually go to BJP clan, like the Shiv Sena has been decimated, NCP has been decimated.
Okay, this is not an election rally, Mr. Ibrahim.
God, he
No,
doesn't want to start.
I'm saying the fact. I'm saying the fact, which is historical. I'm not saying anything which is outside
Now,
the box.
what, Mr. Kovai Satyan, with due respect, what he said is hypothesis and conjecture. What I said wasn't. I was speaking on facts on the statement that were being made. But let me bring in Suman C. Raman.
Ma'am,
Suman
let me have a hearty laugh for 10 seconds or whatever he said. Please allow me that.
Okay, laugh and loud. Tamil Nadu people will laugh at you by 2026 May.
This
Okay?
kind of image
Wait for
is
that.
good for making
Wait for
movies
that,
look
Madam
like
Malwadi. Oh my God, you can say oh my God later on.
not in politics.
Okay. One second. Suman C. Raman hasn't spoken. Suman C. Raman, can I first ask you, Harish Mohammed Ibrahim says there's no anti-incumbency. So no matter who comes together, you wouldn't really be able to move the needle. I want your comment on that first up.
Yeah, Shivani, the position is on the 7th, Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy started a campaign tour, of the state. And whatever feedback I got was the AIADMK itself has been stunned by the kind of crowds that he has been drawing. They never expected it. And he is drawing very, very sizable crowds across the state. The second, today the situation is, if TVK joins the AIADMK alliance in some form or the other, I think this election is pretty much done and dusted. They
Really?
will sweep the election. They will.
But he
It is
isn't-
done and dusted. I've been saying this for several months now.
He isn't tested. Let's be fair. He isn't tested.
It is not about every single survey. That not a single survey that I know of, and there have been dozens done. I'm not talking their usual suspects who are political party fronts who are doing surveys, but I know journalists, organizations that have done surveys. Not even one survey shows Vijay drawing less than 10%. That 10% gets added to the AIADMK BJP kitty. It is game over, right? The second point, very, very important. This is the real key part. There is a proposal, and many of us had spoken about this earlier. There is a proposal where the TVK can have an alliance with the AIADMK and put up candidates against the BJP. It has happened. We saw Chirag Paswan do it in Bihar, where LJP was part of the NDA alliance and contested in 130 constituencies against JDU, which was part of the same alliance. We have seen it in Maharashtra. The Mahayuti, where Ajit Pawar's candidates contested against Eknath Shinde and BJP in 6 seats in Maharashtra Assembly. It happened in Jharkhand, where Congress and JMM contested against each other. It happened in Jammu and Kashmir. National Conference and Congress contested in some 5 seats against each other while they were part of the alliance. So there is nothing which is ruled out at the moment.
Okay.
All
no,
that is
interesting
required
what you're
is-
saying.
Yeah,
Interesting
so
what you're
Vijay-
saying. So if they
Vijay will not have an alliance with BJP. Let's be very clear on that.
Can I come in,
Vijay will
Shivani?
not have
Yes,
an
Kovai
alliance
Satyan,
with
one
BJP. Vijay will align with the AIADMK. Other parties will also align with AIADMK. BJP will also align with the AIADMK. But there will be quote unquote friendly fights in 30, 40, 50 constituencies, which will not make a difference, because even if there is some damage in those constituencies, the vast majority of constituencies, there will be a sweep. Mark my words on this, Shivani. TVK plus AIADMK plus BJP plus PMK will be a sweep. There is no two
So are you
opinions
saying
on
this?
that.
No,
It is a no contest.
Sweep is one thing, but you're saying this numerically that this will be a sweep, or do you think there is anti-incumbency too, that people are looking for an alternative?
There is a very significant anti-incumbency on the ground, particularly the functioning of the police department, which seems to have gone completely out of the Chief Minister's control. law and order has become a major issue. And the fact that many of these schemes which have been launched with great deal of fanfare, now for instance they are starting a new scheme which is actually a rehashing of a scheme launched by Jayalalitha in 2013, and they are now repackaging it and pushing it as a new scheme. Now the point is, there is some level of discomfort. I won't call it desperation yet, but there is a serious concern in the DMK now, which was not there 2 months ago or 3 months ago. 2 or 3 months ago, this election was a shoe-in, especially because Vijay was likely to contest separately. The AIADMK BJP alliance had still to gel on the ground.
Okay.
Now that the gelling has started on the ground, EPS is drawing big crowds, and the possibility of Vijay potentially joining an AIADMK alliance while putting up candidates against the BJP
Is very much alive.
That is an absolute game changer.
Game changer and very
If
much
it
on the
happens.
cards. Is it what
If
to
I
do
may,
to
Shivani.
actually make it happen is something I'll come back to you, Sumant, on. Yes, Mr. Kovai Satyan, is this why EPS is going on and on trying to distance himself from the BJP? Oh, look, they're just our national partners. They're not going to be in government with us in Tamil Nadu. Now it makes sense. If this is what the game plan
thank
is.
the media. No, first of all, I should thank both the regional and the national media for again and again bringing up this topic of, is it a coalition government or is it a government by EPS himself? So we need clarity. What has happened in reality is majority started believing that DMK is not going to come to power. Nobody says this question doesn't arise because DMK is going to come. Even the DMK spokesperson, for that matter, is trying to seek clarity on this. They're tongue wagging. Everybody says, give clarity because Amit Shah is saying so and your leader is saying something different. None of the DMK spokesperson is saying this doesn't arise because we are the one who are going to come to power. So this is the reality for you, Shivani. See, it is not, Tamil Nadu has not seen somebody who is in the magnum opus of the cinema world entered into politics. It happened since our founder leader MGR. And we have seen a similar trend just 1.5 decade ago. Honorable leader of opposition, Captain Vijay, started the same way like Mr. Vijay. He took 8.33% share. And after he came into an ally with AIADMK, DMK was routed and they lost the status as leader of opposition. So the vote split that happens indeed hurts DMK more. Even the survey what we took recently clearly indicates that the minority vote banks which DMK blindly believes it is in entirety for them has taken a hit after Vijay had entered into the political fray. So there is an element of fear whether Vijay joins with the AIADMK or he doesn't join or he goes in unison. It is going to hit the prospects of DMK, and the prospects of DMK is to elevate the Prince Udaynidhi. So that's done and dusted. The family dream of elevating the grandson Udaynidhi is done and dusted now. That's very evident and clear. That's why there is level of desperation and there is a certain amount of fear among DMK and the DMK allies.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Ibrahim.
Yeah, he can rant anything he wants. And he's speaking about Mr. Udaynidhi Stalin, who is the deputy CM, has been done and dusted. But the same deputy CM has won 69,000 votes difference by the people of Chepak and Thiruvallikeri. So whatever the ranks, which is a political aspirations, we have to leave it to them because they have taken so much of survey, which the same survey company which took the 400 bar government. But even by 293, it has been decimated to 240, and the minority government has been formed in the central. So the same survey company has taken for ADMK and BJP coalition, which stating that the BJP and ADMK will come to power and Mr. Edappadi Palanichami will form the government. For that matter, he has faced almost 2 general elections and 2 state elections and 1 local body election. He never even won a single thing in Tamil Nadu. Because the people of Tamil Nadu have never ever trusted Mr. Edappadi Palanichami.
Okay.
He is the man who backed up Madam Shakita, who made sure to bring him into the forefront. Okay? Otherwise, people of Tamil Nadu doesn't even know who is Edappadi Palanichami.
Okay, Sumant wants to come in. Sumant.
One very
time comes in.
Since he brought in the election of Udaynidhi Stalin, there's a very interesting story as to how it happened. Basically, that was a fixed match between DMK and ADMK, where Kushbu was supposed to contest. They took away the constituency from BJP and they gave it to PMK, a party which has zero presence in Chennai, who didn't even have a candidate. So it was a fixed match. The fact that Mr.
So
Udayamuni
another
won by such a
BJP
big
spokesperson,
margin,
Mr. Suman C. Raman, is saying that BJP went against them. He's another spokesperson of BJP for that matter.
DMK, all of them, everybody in Tamil Nadu knows how the candidate was changed and the seat itself was given to PMK, which has zero presence
I have
in
limited
Chennai.
time. Very quickly, I want to understand from you, what will it take for TVK or for Vijay to take the call that you're suggesting could be a game changer or game over, a KO
Common
move?
sense. Simple. Two words, common sense. If he has ambitions or delusions of grandeur that he's going to become chief minister in 1 year after starting his party, it's not going to happen. He could be a game changer. He could be a Pavan Kalyan if he chooses to throw in his lot. And there is a way of accomplishing this without having truck with the BJP. He's already said BJP is my ideological enemy.
Yes.
Let him contest against BJP candidates. What is the problem?
And Mr.
AIADMK will not have a problem with that.
And Mr. Madhuvantu, you're okay with this? What the formula that Mr. Raman is
That's
talking
Mr.
about?
Raman's opinion. That is Mr. Raman's formula. We have to wait and see what happens. I am not Amit Shah to decide about what formula I give for BJP. But having said that, let me very categorically tell you that the BJP-AIADMK alliance is extremely strong, cemented, and we are going ahead to face these elections in a very, very strong and systematic functioning way, which is what is terrorizing the DMK at this point in time, like my friend Kovai Satyan very rightly said. So much so that you see the CM of the state started campaigning, which is something that we have never seen in so many years of DMK fighting elections. Even the MLA candidates won't come out and campaign, but now they are worried. They are on a back foot. So
but even at your end, it seems the job is only half done. There is still some miles to go before you are also confident of what difference the NDA alliance is able to make, or whatever is the alliance in Tamil Nadu is able to make. I leave it at that.
It is an NDA alliance.
Yeah. I leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. We're getting the first official reaction from Ministry of Civil Aviation, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, that is investigating the Air India crash, one of the most serious aviation incidents in recent history. The ministry says the investigation is being carried out professionally under Indian and international safety rules. Public concern is acknowledged, but AIB cautions against creating panic or casting doubts on aviation safety based on incomplete information. It also has flagged some international media outlets drawing premature conclusions through selective and unverified reporting. It has urged public and media to avoid speculation as it risks compromising the integrity of the ongoing investigation. The preliminary report only explains, the ministry says, what happened, not why. The final investigation report will be released after the probe concludes with full findings and recommendations, and updates will be shared by the AIB as necessary. This is, of course, after several reports have sought to pin the blame for the crash on manual intervention by at least one of the pilots and intentional intervention by at least one of the pilots. Payal Mehta is now joining us with more on this. Clearly, the ministry felt the narrative was getting out of hand, too many speculations, premature conclusions taking place, and felt that they needed to come out with this clarification.
You know, throughout the entire period after the report was released, what have the ministers concerned said? They've said, let's not draw a conclusion because this is just a preliminary report. This is just the start that you've really seen. And therefore, these statements going out of hand, the investigation report going out of hand, is completely something which is being uncalled for. One is to remember, Shivani, that the rights are equal, whether it's a crew that is being, damned over here, whether it's, of course, the passengers who suffered this fatal crash, they all have human rights available as well. We have no reason to cast aspersions on the conduct of certain people without any proof in hand. And of course, the one important line that you see over here is a royal snub by the Indian government as far as the Western media is concerned. Certain sections of the Western media have already started creating a narrative that the fault is the pilots. There's a royal snub as far as that is concerned. And therefore, the appeal is being made to all the media, including the Western media, to stay away from casting any aspersions on anybody's conduct. We do not have any conclusive, detailed report as of now. It's just a preliminary report, which is like they're saying, just telling you what happened, why it has happened, why it should not have happened. All of this is there for the complete report to come out, and the complete report is also being pursued in a very professional manner. And like we reported earlier, that just about last week, some of the members of the investigating team came back from Ahmedabad after trying to corroborate a lot of evidence. So we shouldn't be drawing any conclusion, but like I said, the Western media has been trying to create a narrative for a very, very long time against Indian pilot. And hopefully, this statement coming from the Civil Aviation Ministry will actually, resonate with them as well, and they'll make sure that they do not jump the gun so far as far as this matter is concerned.
I just want to read out that particular portion, Payal, that you're referring to and why this press release has possibly been necessitated. Because on the international media repeatedly attempting to draw conclusions through selective and unverified reporting, this Ministry of Civil Aviation release says such actions are irresponsible, especially while the investigation remains ongoing. We urge both the public and the media to refrain from spreading premature narratives. Some criticism that has also happened of the report itself is, Payal, that it has left too much to imagination, or it has hinted towards one direction without giving a conclusion. So naturally, of course, conclusions were being drawn.
Well, of course, that's a very important question that remains unanswered as to why such inferences have been drawn. But, right from the very beginning, certain sections of the Western media, Shivani, tried to create a narrative saying that, the black box will not be investigated in India. India doesn't have the capacity. Some sections even try to say that the black box has already gone off to the US, but none of this was true. The Indian establishment, the Indian system has enough, enough aid available with itself to actually, go ahead and investigate this in India itself as well. So that's something which is being said. So therefore, drawing conclusion, from the very beginning, certain section of the Western media tried to pin the entire blame at the behest of God knows who on the pilots. Even pointing to an extent, talking about somebody's personal life, talking about the fact that they were going through a psychological phase in their life. All of this is completely uncalled for, and therefore the Indian government has stepped out and said that, enough is enough. You cannot be, damning anybody without having evidence. Let's just wait for the final report to come.
All right, Payal, thanks a lot for joining us with that update. Moving on, recent cases of stray dog bites in India have raised significant concerns, especially in states like Kerala, but even across other urban centres. In Kerala, between January and April 2025, over 1.3 lakh people were bitten by dogs, according to the State Health Directorate. This includes both stray and pet dog bites, but the majority are being attributed to strays. The state is now also reporting that there have been 15 deaths. While there were 15 deaths in 2022, 17 the next year, and 22 in 2024 due to rabies and dog bites in humans. This year, there have already been 12 deaths so far in the state. Due to the high number of these cases coming to light, the Kerala government has introduced a new policy for managing strays, which has received mixed reaction. As per Section 8 of the Animal Husbandry Rules, euthanasia of an animal can be carried out if an animal is so diseased that it can spread the disease. A registered veterinary practitioner has to certify that the animal is mortally injured or so severely injured or in such a physical condition that it shall be cruel to keep it alive. Here's what the Kerala Stray Dog Policy 2025 states. The government will enforce euthanasia if the dog is mortally or severely injured, or if the dog is deceased and keeping it alive could be cruel or pose a public health risk. Furthermore, mobile animal birth control units, over 152 of them, will be deployed across block levels to sterilize stray dogs. The policy also says that a statewide vaccination drive for stray dogs will begin next month. Furthermore, to prevent abandonment, pet dogs will be implanted with GPS-enabled microchips so owners can be traced. And the state government has also directed police to take criminal action against individuals who disrupt the operations under this act. Now, the recent action by Kerala government comes amidst rising cases of dog bite attacks, and this is what the nationwide data says. From just about short of 22 lakh such cases in 2022, the next year, registered cases rose to over 30 lakhs. In 2024, the registered cases of dog bites in India were over 37 lakhs. The number of nationwide deaths due to rabies have also been alarming. 21 in 2022, 2023 saw 50, and last year was 54. Most of these deaths, in fact, for the last 2 years have been reported from Maharashtra. 46.5 lakh doses of anti-rabies vaccinations have been administered in India. So that just gives you an idea of the overall scenario. Here's what the key provisions of the ABC Rules 2023 state. That stray dogs must be caught, sterilized, vaccinated against rabies. Dogs must then be released back into their original territory. Municipal bodies must implement the ABC and the anti-rabies programs, and only AWBI recognized organizations are allowed to carry out these procedures. Humane treatment during capture, surgery and release is mandated. Any cruelty during the ABC process is strictly prohibited. Even the Supreme Court has often taken note of this issue and it has always batted for more humane treatment even of stray dogs. Here's what the Supreme Court rulings have said in the last few decades. 2015, Supreme Court ruled that stray dogs cannot be indiscriminately killed or even relocated. They have to be released back into their areas because dogs are territorial. 2024, Supreme Court stayed Bombay High Court order allowing euthanasia of stray dogs. That had become a landmark judgment. In 2017 also, Supreme Court had stayed Kerala High Court ruling allowing culling of dangerous dogs. And then last year, the Supreme Court had ruled, which has now become, of course, the main judgment in this issue, that municipal laws cannot override central animal welfare laws. So states have to follow the policy that has been set by the central law. That brings us to the question, even as the stray dogs menace is rising, you have children especially who are sometimes the victims of these cases. What is the best solution? Our guests are joining us in just a bit.
Vaccination drive will be conducted jointly by Animal Husbandry Department and local self-government departments.
Ambika Shukla is an animal rights activist joining us. Ashwini Dubey is an advocate in the Supreme Court and Shobit Mohanty is founder of the Pack Dog. I do thank you all for your time. Ambika, I begin with you. This debate has also been necessitated because just yesterday the Supreme Court kind of scolded, people who feed stray dogs in public places, and this wasn't an order or anything, but the Supreme Court opined that this should not be done in the open. In any case, the law mandates that there should be specific areas where strays should be fed. Do you think that this needs to be taken more seriously, even with pet lovers, dog lovers and animal rights activists like yourself?
I think there is a bit of confusion about the Supreme Court's statement yesterday. It was done in jest. I spoke with the lawyer on the case and he said, "Hasi mazak mein tha." And there was no scolding and there was no order passed in this regard. I think everybody understands that dogs have a hard enough time on the street as it is. They cope with freezing weather, hot weather, the rain. They hardly get food. They don't have any means of treatment, nothing. So they have such hard lives. When there are a few compassionate people who feed them, I think it's very unnecessary to deter them. We have rules and they are being followed, and it is feeders who are spearheading the sterilization and vaccination program that has brought rabies cases down to just 54 in the whole country in the whole year. And please understand, this figure is so amazing because it has been brought down from 20,000 just a few years ago. So the program is working extremely well, and alarmist statements like the channel is giving that, everything is rising. No, rabies cases are not rising. They are coming down. And we are very close to a rabies-free India, only because of feeders' efforts in sterilizing and vaccinating dogs. And I think the Supreme Court appreciates those efforts and has steadily and consistently, like you said, backed the ABC program for the good work it is doing. Coming to Kerala, I would like to point out that there is a severe problem here. Kerala, when the sterilization program was introduced in India in 2001, Kerala was the one state who refused to take it up. It was only in 2017, upon an order by the Kerala High Court, that finally the Kerala government introduced the ABC program in its state, 17 years after every other state had done so.
Yeah.
Then when they introduced it, they did not give it to a veterinary organization, they did not give it to an animal welfare organization. Who did they give this a sterilization and vaccination program to a women's empowerment group who had no idea what to do. As a result, the program was botched up. Hardly any sterilization or vaccination was carried out, and yet the organization charged the state huge amounts of money. It was a complete scam. Finally, again, it was the Kerala High Court who stepped in and said, scrap this nonsense. Your program is being mishandled and misrun, and it's a complete scam. And therefore, the sterilization came to a halt. So Kerala has had a very bad record with regard to how to deal with feeding and management of community dogs. Their only reaction is kill. Kill, violence, hurt, remove. That is their only answer to anything. Every other state, Sikkim is rabies free, Goa is rabies free, only through sterilization and vaccination. Why is Kerala having a problem? Only because they mishandle and their approach is all wrong, always. Their reaction
but in this case, their new policy is also following
and killing.
No, certainly nobody can bat for any kind of indiscriminate killing of any stray. It's not just about dogs, but any kind of animal. And this ABC law actually protects all animals. But Ambika Shukla, you must also, I'm sure, appreciate that the Kerala government is following the central law, and even this euthanasia that it is mandating, it is in extreme cases. So surely we cannot object to that.
Please, if you can just explain to me, what is a diseased dog? If a dog has a skin disease, is he killed? If a dog has a maggot wound, is he killed? If a dog is a nasal discharge, is he killed? These are all dogs suffering from infection or disease. How does it, who determines this? Kerala has such a poor record that I have no faith in how the government will implement this program, in what manner they will decide who a diseased dog is, and in how will the dog be killed. You can only establish rabies with a brain examination after a victim dies. So there is no test for rabies. So you cannot say a dog is rabid or not rabid unless you have examined his brain after he dies.
But
so
maybe
there is no test for rabies. So how will the Kerala government implement this? There is no test for rabies. And will you kill a dog for a skin disease or a broken leg or what?
You know, they're asking for a vet to sign off on such euthanasia. But you're right, we don't really know whether all kind of diseases are going to now justify the killing of a stray dog. Absolutely. But on rabies, I should say, for the benefit of our viewers, there should be no rabies deaths. And rabies deaths are absolutely preventable if you get, you know, the vaccine on time. There will not be rabies deaths. So this is a matter of human intervention as well. But let me go across to Ashwini Dubey as well. Ashwini Dubey, you know, regardless of the statement that the court may have made in jest or in conversation, a lot of these observations are made by the Supreme Court benches routinely for all kinds of cases. But the Supreme Court has always batted for humane treatment of stray dogs. It is not permissible. And they say the Constitution says that you cannot be cruel to any other life, including a life of animals. So this whole campaign, as if stray dogs are the biggest menace in our cities, I'm not sure if it is all coming from the right place.
Shivani, let me tell you about what has transpired in the Supreme Court first, then I'll come on the statistics, then the law. The Supreme Court said, do you go cycling in the morning? And said, try it one day and see what happens. The court said, referring the experience of cyclists and two-wheeler riders, especially along empty streets, they said, you may encounter aggressive stroke dogs. There is a space for these animals, but no space for humans. Number one. Number two, India has witnessed around 22 lakh dog bite cases and over 5 lakh other animal, including monkey bite cases in 2024 across the country. And these bites led to the deaths of total 48 people. The massive biting cases show that India is far away from its target to achieve rabies-free India by 2030. And it's not my data. Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, between January 24 to December 2024, rural areas across the country have witnessed massive animal bite cases. And there are cases, dog bite cases, which says 26,850. And out of it, around 20% of victims are children. And those total animal bite cases of children reported to less than 15 years of age. Many have died. We have seen the videos. Videos comes. The question here is, nobody is talking, even if we talk about the euthanasia provision under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Animal Husbandry Practice in the Procedure Rules 2022, there is a procedure. And it should be carried out strictly in accordance with the Section 8 of the rules, as you rightly pointed out. And the other thing, this falls under the purview of the state governments concerned and also the municipal areas. Now, the first question is whether there should not be any designated place to feed these dogs. I myself live at a place where when around 11 o'clock in the night, I see that the people come, just give them food in between the roads. You cannot go out. Your children cannot go and walk on the roads. Even I myself have felt number of occasions that the dogs have tried to attack us. So how to prevent us? The question is this. Therefore, there is a need to have check and balance. And if court is saying, if the law is saying there should be a designated place, why there can't be a designated? This is a job of the municipal bodies.
No, but municipal bodies are failing us. No, Ashwini, that was going to be the point that I was going to come at. These rules, these laws have existed for many, many years, if not decades. And we don't really see, even in urban centers, I don't know what happens in, tier 2, tier 3 cities, but even in urban centers or metros, there aren't any facilities for stray dogs.
Yeah, that is what, because the protectors of animals, because those who feed them, they come and start fighting. The question is this, even the municipal bodies are not able to perform their statutory duties. And it is not given to the police station, it is the municipal council job. And if municipal councils people come and try to collect it, then the people who are animal lovers, they try to obstruct them. So that is the question.
I don't know of any animal lovers who will object to sterilization and vaccination.
So that is what the sterilization and vaccination, they will not object to. Those municipal council should be directed to do it, but not doing that is failing in their duty. But so far as attacked by the dogs, who will look into it? Yeah. Whose duty is to look into it? And those who are feeding, they should also be cautious enough that they should not feed.
No, that's a fair point. I think anecdotally and otherwise, Shobit, it can be established that people are not following the rules, that there should be designated places for strays to be fed. Maybe we can all come together and solve this issue together instead of, these two camps going at each other, including in courts, where all of us can agree that there is an issue to be looked at. Young children's lives and safeties are at risk, and all we need to do is make designated spots for feedings.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I think this is an issue that needs to be tackled together and not with two different parties fighting between each other. The problem here is that we need to understand that this whole concept of feeding, vaccinating and sterilization, as Ms. Ambika rightly put, is not just coming from an emotional state, it is also coming from a scientific place. This is the only solution we have to reduce the population of street dogs in a humane way. And this is not the solution which is being prioritized because it is humane. Let's look back into the history. For decades, India has tried to cull street dogs with no result. And that is something that Kerala themselves can see in their history, right? Culling will not result in any outcome because you can never cull 100% of the street dogs. And if you cannot do that, after a few years, they're just going to come and repopulate the streets of the communities. So we have to do this. We have to feed them. We have to sterilize them. We have to vaccinate them. We have to do it in a way that is humane and also in a way that is mindful of the coexistence of the communities, whether it's children, whether it's senior citizens. Everyone's welfare and interest should be taken care of, and even the street dogs' welfare and interest should be taken care of. I just want to point out one more thing on the data of this dog bites, right? It is very, very... you can be swayed by this in the wrong way because in 2015, if I'm not wrong, Kerala's Ernakulam General Hospital themselves conducted a survey because no hospital really mentions that, okay, if this is a dog bite, which dog bit? And they started recording whether the dog bite was from a street dog bite or a pet dog bite. You wouldn't believe 95% of the dog bites were from pet dog bites, not from street dog bites. Unfortunately, the stories that come out is always about the street dog bites because they are very easy to be targeted. They're voiceless, right? They cannot defend themselves. They're not belonging to any particular individual. And so we just put all the blame on them. The senior advocate here spoke about different things, but I still do not understand what is the solution that he's talking about. If the solution is to, earmark places and have them fed in those earmark places, absolutely, yes.
But why is that not happening? Shobit, according to you, why is that not happening? Why is the implementation on ground so poor?
Because of awareness. There is not enough awareness. There are a lot of people who want to do well, but they are not told how to do it. Unfortunately, in India, the municipal corporations have really failed us when it comes to street dog population management. It is their job to do this. Since they cannot do this, we have brought the citizens into the fray, and we are happy to contribute. The problem now is, can the citizens be educated and made aware about the right way to do this, right? And this is where we look towards the municipal corporations to spread that awareness. I do not believe for one instance that any community feeder is going to be against vaccination.
Yeah,
They
I don't
care
think
for the dog, right?
community activists for dogs are going to oppose sterilization and vaccination.
Absolutely.
They're all for it. Ambika, where is the problem then?
The speaker has very rightly pointed out, the counting of bites is faulty. The data that you are receiving on bites is completely faulty. One, it has not been separated into pets and community dogs. And second, it is exaggerated by 5 times. There is only one mechanism for counting bites, and that is they count the number of vials that a hospital uses. Now, what you don't understand is, or what nobody takes into account, is that 1 bite is equal to 5 vials of rabies. So it is not 5 bites, but 1 bite, but they count it as 5 bites. So the figures you are actually seeing is 5 times what the actual figures are.
Okay,
So
but even if I
one is
take
the
for the
bite
figures to be
are
not
wrong.
what they are,
Secondly,
but Ambika, you must realize that even 1 case or 2 cases or
They
10
are
cases
5 times
that are
less than
caught
what
on
you are
camera
saying, 5
where
times
people
less.
die, and unfortunately some deaths have happened because people didn't go for their rabies vaccines after a dog bite. Those deaths could have been avoided. Even if 10 cases like this happens, it raises alarm. So I want to understand from you, I have a final minute left. What is the best solution going forward?
So the best solution forward is the ABC program. It is a WHO recommended program. It has been successfully implemented in countries like Bhutan, which has gotten 100% sterilization and brought their country down to 0 rabies. So countries like Bhutan have done it, the Netherlands have done it.
In India, is
many
the problem
countries
the
have shown
scale of
success.
in India, is the issue the scale of the number of dogs and just the
Sikkim?
length and breadth of the country?
Actually, this has worked in India as well.
Sorry?
If you look
What was
at
the
cases like, if
Yes.
you look at stories from Goa and
Yes.
Vizag and Jaipur, ABC programs is what has
Sikkim.
reduced the number of rabies cases in these cities to 0. Right? So it has worked even in India. The problem is not
0.
scale. The problem is of the management.
Okay. You know what? One thing we can agree on is that our municipalities have certainly failed us when it comes to the management of strays and whatever was mandated by law, because we don't really see them implementing them in residential areas or close to residential areas, and leave aside others areas as well. And this isn't the only problem where municipalities are failing. You look at garbage collection or management, you look at other things. This is a systemic problem where existing rules are not being implemented, and then, you know, it almost feels like we don't have rules, but we have rules, and this keeps going back into courts, and the court keeps reminding us that there cannot be any other solution. You cannot cull stray dogs. You have to treat them and you have to allow them their space. I leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Time for a very short break. That's all on Plain Speak, but the right stand is coming up after a short one.
Brought to you by This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Aviation sources have revealed to CNN News 18 that all mechanical and technical aspects are being investigated. The fuel switch cannot move without human intervention, but it is being probed if the fuel valve malfunctioned due to some technical or